feel better every day. I feel better every day. I feel better every day. So long to my years, fighting back my tears. I'm not waiting on your call. Hardly think of you at all. Hardly notice how I miss your arms and fingertips. Your name on my lips. And if a street light disturbs my sleep tonight, I'll be glad to clear the dreams of you from my mind. And maybe I'll wake up smiling in the morn, feeling glad to have been born. I feel better every day, but nights are so sad. I feel better, oh, but I still feel bad. Some old memories always in my way. Every day. Hey everybody, thank you for being here. It's Brian Bacon. I'm live at the GHS sessions.
Whoa, whoa. You did it. You got the first song out of the way.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Oh, yay. It feels like it's a big relief. Yeah,
That first one's the hard one.
it is.
How's everybody
much.
doing out there tonight? Tom, I saw Tom.
Yep, Tom's here. Hi, Tom.
Ray, the heck's up, buddy?
So, hey, to all who are out here,
Oh, here we go.
Ben and I have, we were talking it over earlier, and we've decided to volunteer our services tonight to you.
This is gold.
You don't need to use Google to look up facts or anything while you are watching the stream. Just post all of your questions that you would otherwise look up in the chat, and we will give you reliably factual answers
That's
to
right.
all of them.
And then you're not allowed to fact check.
No, this is going to be like 1995 when this is how conversations would go back then. It's just like you'd sit around, you talk about factual stuff, and there's no cross-checking.
We got you covered. We got you covered. Any question that you want. I see the numbers climbing, so people are just coming in. They heard already. Any question you have, put it in the comments, and Brian and I will give you the facts.
We're your own personal Google tonight.
Let's see what you got.
Yeah. And this isn't like try to stump us. That's not what we're saying.
We're unstumpable.
We're unstumpable.
Try as you may.
All right. So I have brought a group of story songs tonight that I'd like to do for everybody. And these four that I'm about to do in a row they're related, thematically related, about the whole topic of leaving your small town, leaving your hometown, or the reasons that people do that, the reasons that they don't do that, and the feelings that go along with that. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit, but I'm also just going to let the song sort of set the agenda. So this one's called Sleepy Town. It's a sleepy town where I come from, and I grew up listening to the old men at the football fields and potluck meals way back when. And they sure told me a lot about Jesus, and they told me how I needed a wife. But she'll want a man who'll work just as hard as he can all of his life. And wherever you go, though it may be far, you will ever know you can always come home and lay down in this sleepy town. But the years flew fast, and each one sent another old man to the past. By the time that I knew, I'd been way too long, and the whole place I grew up was gone, and nowhere to be found was my old sleepy town. Oh, if I could, I'd run home and kiss the ground. Of my old sleepy town. All right, everybody. That's a song about my conflicted feelings about the town I grew up in called Columbiana, Ohio. And I grew up there, the son of the head football coach. And if you can imagine, the focus that our family was under a lot of the time wasn't always glorious. Sometimes it felt pretty adversarial. And while I wrote that song, and I often do write songs from a perspective that I can identify with, it's not necessarily a perspective I share. It's a perspective I kind of wish that I shared. This next song is more along the lines of what I actually experienced. When I was only a boy, I needed room to run, chasing my favorite adventures, burning my eyes in the sun. Too many high expectations entangled me right from the start. I promised myself I'd get the room to run. Though I had nowhere to go, I kept running all my life. I bet it hurt my father, I know it killed my wife. Never knew why making room for myself always hurt someone. It doesn't matter now, I got the room to run. It seemed like we'd been together far less than 18 years today. As these last breaths precious moments fleeted away. Ooh, ooh, my baby flies away. Watching her plane disappear, I felt such emptiness. Memories crowding my mind. I made mistakes, I guess. I could have begged her to stay for the sake of my breaking heart, but she is so young. She needs the room to run. She needs the room to run. She needs the room to run. All right, all right. Okay. Tracy's here. Who else is here? Tom's here. Thank you. Thank you for the applause there, Tracy. Kelly has a question for us. What is I bet you're going to have a tough time with this one, Ben.
Oh,
so I'll take this one.
All right.
She was asking, what is a snoke? But she spelled it with a J at the beginning.
Classic spelling.
It's a, yeah. Oh,
Right.
you do know about the,
Well,
the
you
silent
keep going.
J. Oh, yeah.
You keep going.
All right,
but,
so it's a silent J.
Right.
And it's a dancing fly. It's a black fly that has dancing shoes on and is cutting the rug.
That's what a snoke is?
That's correct.
Right. I was just asking to be polite because we know. We
Yeah.
both know a lot
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah.
For anyone just tuning in, we're answering all of your questions tonight. It's a special Thursday where any question that you have, do not consult Google and do not fact check us, by the way, but just drop your questions in the comments and we'll take care of it. And you'll be smarter because of it. So you're so welcome.
Yeah,
You're so welcome.
This is a learning community here tonight. So.
That's right.
All right, so that last one was about both sort of drawing a parallel between my life growing up with my family and how I left town and how my parents felt about it, and then how, now I'm a father and my daughters are growing up and they're leaving town now too. So some more leaving town songs for you. So here comes one about a story about somebody who left town but almost didn't. Dear Louise, please come to your bedroom window. I'm ready to confess the things I've always hoped you'd somehow guess. Dear Louise, oh Louise, all my life I have been waiting to sail my boat away. But I will stay if you want me to stay. Say so, please. Oh, lucky stars, finally someone I can talk to all night. Oh, dear Louise, play me a song and I'll sing along It seems you're not at home this evening. I'm not upset with you. I know you've better things by far to do than climb the trees with me, oh dear Louise. Sha-la-la.
Oh man, I love that song.
Oh, thank you.
I had not heard that one before. That is amazing.
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, I wrote that one about. So I was at a event where it was like a mental health awareness event, and this writer got up. He went off to California. He grew up in Mentor, pretty abusive background.
Oh, in Ohio?
Yeah, and he went off to California to write and was a successful writer out there.
Mm-hmm.
But even though he faced a lot of abuse, even from like his whole community, basically, there was like this one girl in town that would pay attention to him. Wasn't his girlfriend. He just kind of hoped that maybe one day it would go there.
Right.
And the way he tells the story, he almost stayed in that horrible environment.
Just for one person?
Just for,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's also telling how if just one person can like pull you out of the dumps,
Yeah.
or like make your day.
Yeah. Yeah, but, there's some danger there too. So I guess that's the,
Eggs in one basket.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So
I know you have another one, but there was a question real fast.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
And Tracy asked, and for anyone that's just hopping in, folks, put your questions in the comments or answering them. Google is outdated. Brian and Ben will take care of your questions. But Tracy asked, why are circle pizzas in square boxes? It's a great question. So originally, when pizzas came over from Australia, they carried them in circle boxes. And then in about 1872, I can't remember his last name, but I think it was Al.
It was Al Green.
Yeah, it was Al Green. Not the one you're thinking of, just a different one.
Right,
Al Green developed garlic dipping sauce, and there was no place to put it in the, because everyone thinks Papa John's copied Al Green.
Yeah, and actually, so it took a while to get over here to the States, the garlic sauce, and it's because of the Ford Motor
trade winds.
Ford Motor Corporation
And Ford
bought it all out, bought up all the patents, and just squashed them
to garlic sauce.
Yeah.
Ford. That's why Brian and I are Chevy guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we both drive Subarus though.
Yeah, but we're Chevy guys
at heart.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why they're square, Tracy.
Thanks for asking. I hope you feel edified.
Yeah. So, you're welcome.
All right. Yeah. Michael Roberts is here. Thank you, Michael. So let's continue down this path. So here, I mentioned my dad is he's still a football coach in this small town where I grew up. So I still have ties there, and so I'm still, the sort of spiritual ebb and flow of the place I'm still connected to. And I decided to write a song about tragedies, a tragedy that one in particular, but one that it's a pattern that happens out there a lot. It just seems like every few years, one of his football players or some kid at the high school has a tragic car accident, usually out driving one of these country roads and just racing off and flipping the car and stuff. So I hadn't heard a song about that before, and I felt that I wanted to honor something about the way that community, the emotional life of that community, sort of the way that the emotional life of that community is conditioned over time. I didn't want to focus on things that have been well trod, like the manufacturing jobs are gone or anything like that. I wanted to do something more family oriented, I think. I don't mean this is a family oriented song. I wanted to focus on what families go through more, is what I meant.
What's this song called again?
It's called Where Has Bruce Been?
All right.
Times are a-changing, they said on the TV. Jennifer laughs, they don't know about here. Somebody asks, where has Bruce been today? Here the whole county is guarding their old ways. Nothing but farmers and preachers and corn. Bruce has to hide record albums away. Nights cruising for miles in his old Trans Am. Lights, girls in the city who dance with him, and the beer hits him fast, and his world is so slow. 65, jump the tracks, 85 all the way back home. Jennifer gets it, the boredom's relentless. Mom and Dad cut it with hard work and prayer. Pastor Ron asks, where has Bruce been? Sundays. Fights, father and son don't see eye to eye. Right is right, father says God doesn't answer why. One more year and I'm gone, I can't wait. Saving money, 85, hit the tracks, nothing but sky underneath his wheels. Dinner has passed in the usual silence. Jennifer rises to answer the phone. Trembling voice tells where Bruce is.
Oh man,
Yeah, pretty heavy, right?
that's an awesome tune.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy with the way that one came out, and I'm really, like I said, where it comes from. Just, you know, I've got mixed feelings about the town that I come from. There were some tough times there, but one thing that I definitely want to elevate is stories about the people that live there. I don't want to sugarcoat them, and I don't want any politics on it, really. So I'm looking for stories like. The more I write, the more I'm looking for these stories from my background that I can really try to honor the people that I grew up with, even though I didn't stay with them or become like them.
Right. But it's the sort of thing that happens no matter what
Yeah.
area you're in.
Yeah.
You know, I think that there's recurring themes, recurring stories that they're kind of specific to an area. And so I grew up in a rural area too, and I think that that's one that it's recurring.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times in a smaller town like that, people put a lot of faith and attention into a handful instead of everyone
Yeah.
because everyone knows each other,
Right.
and they sort of elevate those individuals, and some of them rise to the occasion, but then some of them, maybe slip. So that's kind of what I thought of listening to that song.
All right. That's
awesome.
very insightful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So Kelly, who is on, so I grew up in Columbiana, but I moved to Poland in the middle of high school.
Oh, that's another question.
And the question, did I think Poland was any better? I mean, it was a different kind of, kids pick on each other a lot. There's a lot of like monkey on the top of the mountain type thing.
Sure.
Physically
and verbally.
Yeah. It took me a while to figure out how that worked in Poland, and I feel like I had an advantage moving halfway through, that I was not in any way invested in like the whole history of who's the monkey on top of the hill when I moved to Poland. So I guess, Kelly, for me, it was a little bit better because I just didn't adopt.
How long did you live in Poland? In Poland, right?
No, Poland, Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought for a minute I was like,
no.
"Whoa, you
Poland.
lived in Poland?"
No.
Got it.
She's right.
Ohio's tricky like that. I grew up in Rome, Ohio.
Yeah.
We have all these. We have all these names. It's like, come on, Ohio, you're tricking people.
Right. Yeah.
Paris.
All right. What other questions do we have? Anything we got to handle here?
I think people are afraid.
They are.
They know that
We
we'll
dazzled them
blow
with
their
that.
minds.
We dazzled them with that square pizza box answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of gold you only get here.
Right.
But we would like to know how anybody and everybody is doing. So we're doing these streams every other week. We're thrilled to have Brian here. We'll be updating the schedule here this week, and so we have in a couple weeks we have Roger, and then Roger Hoover. If anyone's not hip, he's amazing. If anyone's seen him play other shows, hopefully we can get him to play more than 2 songs. And then we got Taylor Lamborn and a bunch of other folks, so we'll be updating that. But it's really incredible, the community that we built here around live music. And so it's awesome to see some familiar names and faces. So Tracy, it's great to see you. Tom, saw Dave. My mom's joining. So it's just a beautiful thing. It's nice to be able to stay connected.
Yeah. I just want to say hi to Courtney. Hello, Courtney. Thank you for joining. And, Roger made me think I should probably say something. So I am working on an album now. Pretty exciting.
All right. Heck yeah.
So
where are you working on that at?
Suma.
Suma?
Yeah.
Not familiar.
It's Paynesville. It's kind of a legendary Cleveland studio, or Cleveland, Northeast Ohio studio from like the 60s and 70s and even through the 80s.
The one that moved?
So
got it. Yeah.
Michael bought it. Michael Seifert bought it and has rehabbed it, refurbished it.
Yeah.
So I'll be out there by the end of the month.
Oh, man.
His mention of Roger reminded me, so Justin Gorski is producing it for me.
Cool.
Yep. And Ray Flanagan is playing on it, and Ed Stevens.
That Joker?
Yep.
Oh, that's going to be incredible.
So we finished a single, Oh Dear Me, which I'll play a little bit later.
Great single, by the way.
Thank you. Available at my website. There's a button right at the top, brianbaconmusic.com. You can go get the single right now.
Yep, and I'll drop that in the comments too.
Yeah. So we're going to make more. So we did that one last fall, and we're going back in. Or actually, we started last spring and finished it up in the fall after a long pause.
I've heard about this pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy to be getting back in. So, interestingly, not a lot of the songs I just did are going to be on the album, but I'm about to switch course and play some that will be. So.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah. So this is one I wrote over the past summer. This is where a lot of my sort of COVID anger located in a song. And I kind of started to think about the emotional weight that we were all carrying around. And then I wrote a song about, what the song I think is really about is how much of your energy you lose on tough times like that you'd rather be giving to the people that you love. And what a bummer that is when you can't. This is called Pull the Weight. You know, I'm going to do it on electric piano.
Oh, only here, folks.
Maybe not.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah.
All I want is to love you right. Do my best for you day and night. Give my body and my soul and mind. Show you tenderness and treat you kind. But this world is a place of woe. Trouble no matter where I go. Chasing after every goddamn dime. It takes all my energy and time to pull the weight, pull the weight. Pull the weight, pull the weight. Pick my hammer up and swing it straight. And pull the weight, pull the weight, pull the weight. Nothing makes any sense to me. People lost in their fantasies. Hard day's work just keeps the world the same. Looks like there's no way out of the game. Glad I got you to think about. I'd go crazy from all the doubt. Things don't always work out for the good, but I'll keep on doing like I should. And pull the weight, pull the weight. Pull the weight, pull the weight. Pick my hammer up and swing it straight. And pull the weight, pull the weight. Wait, pull the weight. Don't give in to anger or to hate. Just pull the weight, pull the weight, pull the weight. Swing it straight and pull the weight, pull the weight. Pull the weight, pull the weight. Don't give in to anger or to hate. Just pull the weight, pull the weight, pull the weight.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that one's going to be fun to record.
Oh, that's going to be super cool.
I'm looking forward to that one a lot.
For folks watching on the stream, I keep hitting this button. It goes to your piano. Looks super cool, but I mean to hit this button. Well, a big difference. Pretty big. Pretty big.
Hey, Courtney, thank you. I am so glad you like it. I'm really looking forward to recording that one. And we got a question that I want to know the answer to. This might not fall into the Google category, but Tracy wants to know, how's your new album going, Ben?
Oh, man. So, Tracy, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this, Brian, but as me, as a player, that's exactly what it is. I consider myself a songwriter and a player before I would consider myself a recording artist. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just horrible at keeping that motivation to be in the studio. It's just my least favorite place to be. That said, I get frustrated with myself that I don't have things recorded.
Yeah.
Because people will be like, "Oh, can I listen to that song?" No.
Yeah, right.
You can't. Only if you come to a show. But Anyway, to answer that real fast is next weekend I'll be recording a few songs, just like kind of like live tracks with the trio, and then I'm starting a thing in June. So by the end of this year, by fall, end of summer,
Yeah.
should have some stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of coinciding with your release, right? You said
This year?
yeah.
I think I'm going to take the whole year. My plan is, see, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like you were saying, it's like, sort of like, I don't remember you on the scene before a couple years ago. I wasn't. So I'm kind of new, really. And so I decided.
Which is awesome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Everyone welcome, Brian.
So I decided I am going to, I picked 10 songs that are like 10 singles. So it's going to be like one of these old 60s albums that it's just like, just a bunch of, just string of singles. And I'm going to put them out that way.
I think
so
that's
that I can
cool.
Bang a gong as many times as possible,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Like, especially in this climate of how we market things and how we consume things, you just always want it. Like, for instance, Ray. So Ray Flanagan, he's doing some awesome things where he's releasing a tune a month.
Yep.
And
Great.
honestly, that's makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's fun too because Ray's a great example because like whether it's true or not, as a listener, you feel like, oh, I'm kind of along for the ride as this all comes together.
Yeah, what's
whatever this
next?
is.
What's
Yeah,
next, Mom?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good. So that's the strategy. So
That's cool.
I won't package it up into an album probably until next year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, that's exactly how I'm going to be doing it too.
Yeah.
Like, we're recording it, but I'm just going to release it one at a time, and then when they're all out, then release it as a thing.
Yeah.
So
I hope that people aren't bothered by this talk because we're going to talk about something else after this song. I read a blog that Ben posted recently about his songwriting process, and I'm all excited because it sounds a lot like mine.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do this next song. This was the single that I put out recently, and then we can talk about how this came together because this is a classic example of my songwriting process.
beautiful.
So this is called "Oh Dear Me." I've already done with this one. I don't need to know how to play it anymore. Oh dear me. All the things that I've held on to pile in the hall. I got twigs on the mantle and shoes on the wall. I got pictures of people who I can't recall. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Life is much longer than I imagined before. There's so much empty space, like a flower in a vase, where a bouquet should be, or a hollowed out old hickory. Oh dear me. Oh, my brain is crammed full of small facts I have learned. I've been Elsie'd and Bessie'd wherever I've turned, saving coupons and box lids and spare change I've earned. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. Life is much longer than I imagined before. There's so much empty space, like a flower in a vase, where a bouquet should be, or a hollowed out old hickory. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. There's so much empty space for my socks in this drawer, where there used to be more, 'cause it used to be both mine and yours. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. Oh, dear me.
How you hitting those notes out there?
Thank you. Yeah. Well, training. I've got some vocal training in my background.
Oh, I
It's
see.
helping out. My vocal teacher told me, you don't really hit the peak performance of your voice until you're like in your 40s or your 50s, and
Oh, cool.
that was discouraging news when I was much younger taking vocal lessons. But,
Yeah, that's nice news.
but it's nice news now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really helped my writing to know that I can stretch it a little bit.
Yeah. Hit those flawlessly.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, Ben, the way that I did this,
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, here we go. So I was wondering.
Strap in, folks.
You mentioned something about like you start from like little pieces of songs, fragments of songs. That's what I do too, almost entirely. Like my phone has 500 of them in there right now.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I had with this one at the beginning was just the with the oh dear me on it.
That's it.
That's it.
No, that's
And
not very much.
I had to elaborate it from there.
Yeah.
So I do things like really artificial choices to try to force something, like I just pick a song form randomly and I'm like, okay, this one's going to be this. And then I try it.
And will you try different ones until it works, or you kind of pick one and then keep shaping around it?
I usually treat the fragment like it's the beginning of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to create, if I've got a fragment that's like a whole A or a good lead for one, my first task is just try to find a B part. And I like to write A, B, A. That's my favorite, the old form, the jazz form.
Okay.
But sometimes I'll relent and write one that's verse chorus.
I'm a verse chorus guy. That's folk music, though.
Yeah.
Verse chorus, chorus,
Right.
chorus.
Yeah.
Maybe a solo, a bridge if you're just showing off.
Right. You're exactly.
Right.
Bridges are for show offs. I agree.
Yeah. I love a good bridge, but,
Yeah. So anyway, I just try to find a way that the parts I'm looking. It just feels like a flow. So it's just subjective, but I play around until I feel that.
No, I feel that completely. So for me, and I saw some other songwriting folks there, so let us know too how you think. But
Yeah.
it's always one of two camps for me. It's that fragment,
Yep.
and I have to sort of nurture it.
Mhm.
And I think in my little blog thing I was talking about it kind of like a seed.
Yeah.
Like it gets planted and it will grow extremely fast.
Right.
And if I'm not there watching it, it will grow and die.
Yeah.
But if I'm there watching it, like I can nurture it into a song, or it's either like that, or it's like lightning bolt,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, a song's coming.
Yep.
Almost like I had too much fiber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here comes a song.
Right.
And
I
I have
used
to
to-
write it right away.
I used to write maybe like when I was much younger, only like 5 or 6 songs a year. And I like what you said about like if you don't like sort of seize the moment when it's
Yeah, you lose it.
you lose it.
Yeah.
And that happened to me a lot, I think. I try to write much faster than I used. I'm not fast, but
And it doesn't have to be. Yeah.
I'm looking
Different for
for
everyone, but
I'm looking for like not losing that momentum that sort of is necessary.
totally. I've talked about it before, but there's a book called Big Magic. The name's escaping me, but she talks about how basically it's creativity. So think of it as, you can think of it however you want. We're not to get into theology at all, but she was kind of thinking of creativity as like something greater.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly, I'm paraphrasing, but it's constantly looking for someone that's listening. And if that person's not listening, it just passes
Moves
on
on.
to the next person.
Yeah.
So she talks about just being open to that creativity and sort of using yourself as kind of like a conduit,
Yeah.
which I've always loved that
Yeah, that's a
analogy.
good image. We got a question here. Kelly wants to know, what's the difference in writing songs on, I can't see the end of the question.
Oh, piano versus guitar.
Ooh.
It's a big difference.
I like, it's the transitional chords for me. So
Yeah, you can do so much. There's so much more move. Well, as someone that's versed, like Ray would probably
Right.
argue, but for a lot of guitar players, they kind of know their shapes and their chords, but the movement from chord to chord varies.
Yeah.
But on how easy it is to kind of
Yeah.
add that color. But on piano, and I'm watching you do it, it's amazing. Like the movement from chord to chord, that's almost more than the chord.
Exactly. It is. Yeah. The inner voices are, the handling of them is different. Like on guitar, to keep the rhythm, you're going to strum. On a piano, to keep the rhythm, you're going to move. Like, unless you're going to play 50s stuff, like,
Now we're getting it. Everyone.
Yeah. There are styles where that works, but.
Sure. But normally it's with other players
Yeah,
and stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, Kelly, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, I'm already to my last one. So I'm gonna do my
Last one.
Last one. So Low Waves. Not sure who that is, but thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that song. I think you're talking about Oh Dear Me.
Oh yeah, that's someone watching over on Twitch. So here I can go to this screen. So just to talk a little bit about the streaming. So what we do here is we push it out to YouTube, we push it out to Facebook, and we push it out to Twitch. Facebook, that's where most of you folks are watching live, but we also have some folks watching live on YouTube and on Twitch. And then afterwards it all lives over on all those platforms, but YouTube's the easiest one. So if you're watching this now and you're like, oh, I missed some of Brian's earlier songs, well, you can go over to YouTube and you'll be able to watch the whole thing, as well as a number of other artists that we've had. So it's kind of
I'll just
brief behind the scenes.
plug Ben's shows now for those of you who are just tuning in and it's your first one. I have virtually met a lot of really artists I did not know from Northeast Ohio who are really pretty
Same.
good, through this show. So
yeah, because we've had a lot. So a lot of the folks that played are dear friends, but then I've made so many new friends from them telling me about folks. Like this is the first time we've ever hung out in person, and now Brian and
we're buds.
We're buds,
and we're both. We've got this Google connection. Like we're information fonts.
Oh yeah, we haven't been answering a lot of questions,
I know.
but it's true. And I saw James here earlier, and it's pretty
James,
incredible.
I saw your stream on Ben's. That song, Dancer, oh man.
James is a songwriter. Wow.
Wow, I loved that song. I hope you're still here.
Yeah, talking with him about those is fun. But even we have folks that tune in from around the world, and that's a beautiful thing about streaming, that we wouldn't have been able to connect without it. So it's really cool. And we appreciate all of you tuning in and kind of following along what we're doing. The highlight's really been on Northeast Ohio, but I'm excited to see what the future brings. We're going to keep this show going. What it's going to transition to is house concerts as soon as we can. That's what it started as, and we're going to certainly take our time. My guess is probably end of summer at the earliest.
Yeah.
But you'll have to come back for one of
I would
those.
love to,
It's pretty fun.
All right, here we go. This is the last one I'm going to do tonight. This is going on the album. It's designed to be one of the highlights of my set and the album. So we're going to blow this one all the way out when we produce it. Kind of Memphis style.
Oh,
but
like that.
Here is the seed. It was a lost love, bitter, young and long ago. I don't know who or what she went through. All that I know is there something so broken there's something so broken. There's something so broken about her poor heart. I would hear music every time she called for me. Any crusade I would have made to set her free. But there's something so broken. There's something so broken. There's something so broken about her poor heart. I'm gonna leave her to cry on her own someday. I lie to myself, but truthfully, all I wanted to do was stay, 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 'cause I need her love, and it tears my world apart. That there's something so broken. There's something so broken. There's something so broken about her poor heart. There's something so broken about her poor heart.
Oh, man. Beautiful. Brian, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you, Ben.
I can't wait to go back and watch this again. Folks, please follow Brian. Again, in the description is links to all of his stuff. So keep an eye out for that new record. And if you like what you hear, keep coming back here. Brian, any parting words?
Just thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you for people who are watching this in the future. And I really appreciate the opportunity, Ben, to share music with people, especially this year. And
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure's all mine. So
All right.
it's fantastic.
Thanks, everybody.
We love you all. Stay safe. Be healthy. Let us know if you need anything.
Night.